Aloha, mother fathers. Welcome in another episode of the Side Hustle Podcast. But it's actually a We Talk To episode, new series where we do our interview segments. And we are so excited to have on for our very first guest on the Side Hustle Podcast from all the way in Washington State. You may have seen him around a little bit. He's kind of been almost like a little bit famous for what's been happening with him and Cody Rhodes. Only 20 years old, but his
Amazing.
engagement has been a topic on everyone's mind for a while here over the past couple of months. Of course, also previously served in the Navy. Respect you, man. Love you. Thank you for your service on that as well, man. Awesome to see. Grew up in Cali again in Washington State. His fiance became a wrestling fan because this guy's been a wrestling fan since he was 7 years old.
We got to talk about
White
that. Yeah.
on the show. Anthony White, man, thank you, brother, so much for giving us some of your time today, brother. First guest on the Side Hustle Podcast. Trust me, though, the honor is all ours. We appreciate your time, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, no, thank you. You guys seem to have done your research on me a little bit, huh?
Yeah, we researched your whole life story. It's gonna,
Double A has your social security number. I hope you're worried about that.
I hope
it's fine. Yeah,
that one time you messed up in second grade. We're gonna cover it. We're gonna cover it.
Oh man.
No, man, Anthony, again, we appreciate you giving us some of your time. Like we said, we know your schedule is nuts, but we got to start off, man. Let's start off with obviously you being a WWE fan. This has been kind of a thing for you. We mentioned since you were 7 years old, man. You're almost 15 years into watching just pro wrestling. What kind of got you initially in to just pro wrestling and the whole idea of watching wrestling and being just so, ingratiated into it?
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I grew up with my grandparents back home in California, and my grandma, I call her mom, out of respect. She was a big wrestling fan back in the 80s and the 90s, And I caught her watching it one day, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?" She sat me down and she told me all about it. She said, "Oh, this is so and so. This is what they do." And I remember asking my mom who her favorite wrestler of all time was, and it was Dusty Rhodes, which kind of led towards me liking Cody when he was dashing, Cody Rhodes and undashing Cody Rhodes. We had a little hiccup with that Stardust crap, but he fixed it.
Yeah, we don't talk about Stardust.
Cody does, though. He still has cartwheels every once in a while. I think embracing your failures is kind of an awesome thing it's very human of him. I think it's one of the reasons why people connect with Cody so much, too, is it feels like it's genuinely him out there a lot. And, obviously, it's one of the reasons, too, why Anthony, I'm sure, is one of his favorite wrestlers is because he just feels real. He feels like he's like, yeah, I did that. It sucked, but I can make fun of it now because I'm where I'm at. It's an awesome thing to see. Did you follow him at all when he was in AEW?
I did a little bit here and there, but it was at that time where money was tight. We didn't really have money for TV and all the extra streaming channels and anything like that. But I'd watch on YouTube and I'd try to keep up as much as possible.
You could have just said it sucked. You didn't have to. The AEW thing, man, it's tough for me. I know there's fans out there, and I am in a constant struggle not to just lose my mind because it's really simple to fix things, but at the same point.
Well, and there were some who were fans when Cody was in AEW.
And he obviously, the match with Dustin, too, was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was one of the best matches they've ever had.
And then when Cody jumped over to WWE, I think there were some fans who jumped over as well. When he jumped over to WWE, I guess when did your fandom of Cody Rhodes, when did it really ascend? Was it when he jumped back over to WWE?
Man, the only time I wasn't really a fan of Cody was back during the Stardust time, but after that, I've just been a fan of him ever since I could remember. Even when he was in AEW, I'd always tell my friends, he's gonna come back. I know Cody. He's gonna come back. He's gonna try to become a champion. And my friends were telling me that wasn't gonna happen. And look who's sitting here, correct.
It's honestly insane. So we have to talk about this because this is, like I said, has been something he's mentioned multiple times in interviews, obviously across the country, and you've obviously got your own TikTok too, and you've been able to kind of give people updates on all of this with this whole situation involving Cody Rhodes being the best man at your wedding next year. You brought a sign to a show when WWE was out there, correct? And then this whole thing just took off. Tell us about this, man.
Yeah, so the original best man for my wedding was a high school buddy named David.
Okay.
And I got him into watching wrestling, and he fell in love with Stone Cold and The Undertaker and John Cena, and then he saw Cody Rhodes, and he got sucked into it. Absolutely loved the storyline. Thought Cody was the coolest dude ever, and I'm not gonna lie, I agree with him. And he actually told me, "Hey, you should see if you'll go be your best man. I know you're going to a wrestling event soon." And I said, "You know what? I got good seats. I might as well make a sign. What's the worst he could say? He might come over, shake my hand." I didn't expect much. I thought he was gonna come over, snap a picture, be like, "Hey, sorry, I can't do it. But
He's doing it.
here we are.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
he's doing it.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, so, all right, you go to the show, you have the sign, and well, I guess when you walked into the show, when Cody came out, what was going through your head when Cody was coming out and he approached you? Like, what was you thinking at that moment?
Excuse my language. I was thinking, no fucking way, man. This shit ain't happening.
So like so did he see your sign when he was in the ring and then pointed you out and said he was going to do it and then went to talk to you, or when was the first real interaction where he saw you and your sign?
So Cody Rhodes was going against Shinsuke Nakamura in a street fight match going into intermission. Cody was fighting. He beat Shinsuke, of course, because Shinsuke is dog water, let's be honest. And
I like this guy.
Wow.
Cody grabbed the microphone and, hey, so what do you guys want to talk about? And then he started saying, hey, thanks for coming out. And then he paused mid-sentence and said, hold on. There's this unique sign over here. It says, Cody, will you be my best man? And at that moment, the entire crowd kind of just shut the fuck up for a bit and then popped. It was the loudest pop I've heard at a local event ever. Everyone was losing their mind. Cody started questioning me, are you a felon? How long have you guys been together? Things like that. But, man, when he started walking out and he was waving at me, my fiance, saying, hey, come to the barricade. And we were trying to get there, but, there's a bunch of kids trying to touch Cody or get pictures with him. And I'm not going to lie, it was pretty funny watching 4 security guys just pushing all these 10, 12-year-old kids out of the way. They're like, watch out. We finally got up to Cody, and Cody shook my hand. He said, hey, congratulations. He leaned in, he whispered, he's like, hey, I'll be in contact. It's like, okay, for sure. Didn't actually think he was going to be in contact. And during intermission, his agent came out to look for me. And his agent got my information and took down my Instagram, my TikTok, my phone number. And I've been in contact with Cody and his agent.
That's honestly probably one of the coolest stories I've heard when it comes to this business, man. Just to get that. And again,
but you have to figure though. Like, I know this is really cool, but then like you have a story to tell, like after the show and everything. But you woke up the next morning. Did you wake up the next morning and you was like, they're not gonna follow up on this?
I woke up the next morning. I went home, and I'm gonna be honest. I celebrated a little bit, I was surprised. I woke up the next morning, but when I woke up, I turned over to my fiance and said, I had the craziest fucking dream, dude. She said, yeah? I was like, yeah, Cody Rhodes agreed to be my best man. She said, yeah, go look in the living room real quick. And that's where I had the sign. And it was signed on the RKO side. I had a double-sided sign. One was for Randy Orton. He was my backup plan if Cody let me down. And then the other side was for Cody. And when Cody first saw the sign, he grabbed it and just signed it without reading it. And he signed it right in the middle of RKO on the sign.
Oh.
Wow.
And then he flips it over. Yeah, and he flipped it over and signed it on his side. And I came out in the morning and I saw it and I said, no fucking way. This isn't happening, And my phone was completely dead. So I plugged it in, waited about an hour, checked. I had like 68 followers on TikTok. And by the time my phone turned back on, within 24 hours, I was at 500 or so.
That's honestly nuts, man. Like that's kind of my next question too. The aftermath of this, I'm sure. Were you getting contacted by like people, or like even like I know we obviously reached out to you too because we saw you commented on one of the videos, including Cody, and the reason why you left AEW in the first place. I mean, were you getting people reaching out to you, or was it more like, hey, we had our initial high, we kind of had a lull point? Like, what was your immediate like first few days after all this went down?
Yeah, so there was like the initial little kickstart, was like throwing a snowball down a mountain. It just kept collecting after that. About 2 days later, I got a phone call from USA Today, the news network,
Yeah.
and they asked to interview my fiance and I, which is up on their website. If you just look up Cody Rhodes, Best Man USA Today, it'll pop up.
We'll try and throw the link, obviously, in the
And
bio for this, too. Yeah, so people can see that interview, too, which is awesome, man. But
yeah. And then I was interviewed by this guy named Speck. I was interviewed by a couple other people as well. I'm sorry, it kind of like mixes together. I've been in about 7 or 8 different interviews,
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta meet the car wash of the media row. You gotta go through it and make that. My question is so your fiance.
Yeah, that's a big thing too, because to get married, you need to usually have 2 people. So.
And usually there's one party that has to strongly agree over the other person. It's usually the woman.
Usually she's probably gonna have to greenlight a lot of the decisions that go into this kind of thing and her day and all that stuff. And I know it's your best man, but at the same point, I mean, Double A is right. I mean, what were the talks with her after this really became real after that day? Was it like, hey, are you cool doing this? Or was she like, fuck yeah, let's go? Like, what was her mind? Because I know she's a fan now too, right? Because you kind of got her into this, I imagine, here recently over the past year. I mean, like, is she just as psyched as you are for this kind of moment?
Well, for this story, you guys might want to get a beer and some paper to keep some notes. But before it happened, I told her the idea, I ran it by her, and she said, he's not going to fucking say yes. So might as well just do it. She said, if it's going to make you feel all right, go ahead and do it. And as soon as you kind of pointed this out, she's like, motherfucker, dude. But it came to the point where... Right, man. It came to the point where since he's going to be the best man, she said, if this isn't going to be a wrestling event, we were going to try to invite a couple other celebrities, which I'm still doing. I'm not gonna lie. I've been messaging some people, some big name guys, but she was like, I get to plan out 90% of the wedding. So, okay, all right.
So yeah, it's kind of a win-win. Yeah, you guys get to have Cody there for you, and then she gets to kind of handle the rest of it. And I imagine she's still psyched just to marry you in general, which is obviously great too. But this is like the cherry on top, being like, hey, we get one of our favorite wrestlers from that we actually really enjoy watching get to show up. And the guy on your sign too, the one that Cody signed over, maybe you could get him to come too, because Cody and Randy are pretty tight, so you never know. I mean, that's always a possibility. I mean,
oh yeah,
I wanted to get RKO on my wedding. That would have been fun.
Oh yeah.
Don't comment.
The
Is Cody expected? Is Cody expected to speak at your ceremony?
He's gonna give a toast, right? I mean,
Cody has a couple of things that he said he was going to do. Number one, he said he was going to attend the wedding for the entire event. Number two, he said he was going to do a best man speech. And number three, he's paying for the bachelor party.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Do we want to ask where you're? So
go ahead, man.
You sent recently on your TikTok. You actually said recently that gave like a little bit of an update. You've been in contact with Cody's agent, like you mentioned before to us too, Anthony, and you've been able to kind of work out some details. How much of this? Because I know your wedding is next May, correct?
Yes, sir.
So how much of this has actually been planned out to this point? Because I imagine, and I'm only taking a guess here, that Cody Rhodes' schedule is a little busy. So trying to work out the details and the kinks through all of this to make sure he can do all the stuff that he's telling you he's going to do. I mean, have you guys actually planned all of this out already? Is it still kind of like, hey, we've got this part planned, but not necessarily all this done yet? I mean, where are you guys at now near the end of May, the year before your May wedding next year, when it comes to the whole plan altogether?
Yeah, well, thank God for my beautiful fiance. She's really good at planning, and right now, 100% of the wedding is planned for, and it's gonna 100% fit Cody's schedule as well.
That's awesome, dude.
Well, what's the date?
It's gonna be May 16th, 2025.
We
gotta make sure he can live stream that somewhere too, so we can watch.
And actually, so I wonder, were you a little bit concerned when you were hearing the news that WrestleMania might move dates, and because they were like the first weekend of April, and there were rumors that they were going to move to May. Thankfully, they didn't, but was that a little bit of a concern? Did you hear anything about that?
I did, and that had me on the edge of my seat for about 2-3 months. Because right after Cody said he would do it, and he said that the date was fine, I was all right. And then they started saying, yeah, WrestleMania might be in May. I was like, fuck, he might not make it.
Well, the good news is it's still in
Man,
April, so that's awesome.
How's
So-
the rest of your family reacted to this?
Yeah.
So the rest of my family are kind of losing their minds. My mom said that she wants to meet Cody and talk about how she met his dad a while back, about 20, 30 years ago. And my mom said that Dusty, outside of the ring, was the exact same person he was inside the ring.
Mm.
He was just an everyday, regular guy, treated everyone with respect. And my mom said that she wants to let Cody know that his dad would be proud of the man he's become.
Mm. I think that's he's doing stuff like this. He didn't have to go out of his way, but he obviously saw the commitment you had to it too, and then actually having conversations with you and having his agent go through. I mean, that's awesome. And dude, like I said, you've definitely earned this. You're an awesome dude too. I gotta ask, the rest of the Nightmare family, has there been talks about Brandy coming? I imagine she probably would be in attendance for that too as a date. I don't know if maybe, your fiance be willing to have Brandy as the maid of honor too, if we were trying to push a little bit, or is Pharaoh going to be the ring bearer? What the hell is going on? I need to know.
Yeah, so I can't give some of these details. I can. Jordan, my fiance, she didn't want Brandy to be the maid of honor because she picked her best friend from high school to do it. Big whoop, whatever.
Boo! Yeah, what are you doing? Relationships,
Yeah,
come on.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's right there. I got rid of my best friend and said, right. I said, you know what? Fuck you, David. I'm taking Cody. So it's not that hard. But we have all of our nephews are going to be in security uniforms, and they're going to be the ring bearers coming down. They're going to be called ring security. And then we have a bunch of flower girls. And we're trying to get trying to hire an actor to come in, and when they ask if anyone objects, we're gonna have someone get up, and Cody was gonna hit the crossroads on him.
Nice.
Oh, I think your buddy should do that. I think your buddy who was supposed to be your best man should do that.
The story's there.
He should actually be the bloodline. He should be the bloodline. He's like,
get him a bald cap, dress him up as Hollywood Rock, and then you make it a full thing. Where he's wearing the stupid silk shirts and all that stuff. He's got the People's Champ belt that he bought off WWE shop for way too much money. You can go all the way.
He's gonna be like, Anthony, you didn't believe in me. You didn't believe in me. You picked Cody over me.
I know you're officiating the Westin. Just shut your mouth and enjoy the ride that I'm taking you on. Dude. It sells itself, man.
It doesn't
awesome.
matter if you object.
Oh Lord! Before we wrap, what was your thoughts about this past year's WrestleMania? Cody finishing the story over Roman Reigns and the Bloodline.
Oh man, I'm not even gonna lie. The Bloodline, with how dominant they were, I didn't think it was gonna happen for the longest time. I've been wanting Cody to win. In all honesty, want him to be champion. I just didn't think it was gonna happen. I didn't know how they were gonna book it. I didn't know how it was going to play out, but I think it played out almost as perfect as it could. I know that they tried to get Stone Cold involved, but The Undertaker slip in. I feel like that was it made more sense because everyone that came out was people that Roman Reigns has defeated in the past.
That makes sense, yeah.
It really does. How can people find you on social media?
Yeah, they can find me on TikTok and on Instagram. Ace Atlas.
There you go. I got to ask him, too, about Cody right now, because there's been some talk about Cody as champion, right? The letdown a little bit. Is there going to be a letdown when it comes to the chase versus actually being the chosen, right, and being the champ? Do you think to this point he's, 40-some days into his run? Has it lived up to what you were thinking it was going to be as far as him being champ, even though Cody doesn't know how to properly hold a title like a normal person? He always holds it on his hip. He's Dusty
man.
in the 80s, which
Kyle, you did not have to go there, man.
Other than that, it's been great for me. But that's the one thing I'm like, dude, just throw it over your shoulder, man. It looks good on your shoulder.
He can't do it, man.
He just can't. Well, he's an
No,
old school
it's
kind of
a-
face, right? But yeah, I get it. But yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how he holds the title. I mean, none of us have titles, right?
yeah, we talk.
Ain't that the truth?
Nah,
Yeah.
I have once when I was a kid, but they're
Yeah.
nowhere near as cool.
Oh yeah, no. I actually got a contact from this wrestling company out here named Relentless,
Okay.
and they offered us a wrestling ring to use at our wedding, and they also offered me a position at their school to try to go and become a professional wrestler with them as well.
Is that a goal for you now? Because I know
Amazing.
you're only 20, man. You got obviously your full life in front of you. You got obviously it's gonna be a big year for you with the wedding and everything too. I mean, is that a plan now to kind of transition, just into trying to become a professional wrestler? Is that kind of your thing?
Oh yeah, that's been my life goal for since I was 7 for that long, and I feel like everything finally lined up to a point where it's just like dominoes. When one falls down, it's just gonna keep going, and I'm really excited to see where this goes. I do know that a ex UFC fighter by the name of Tom Lawler is going to be one of my personal trainers for this company.
Oh wow,
Dude, that's awesome.
Wow,
And you do actually have a contact who just happens to be the most
Wow.
over star in the entire world right now. So that's
it's just Cody.
so to be able to, yeah, just to be able to pick his brain a little bit
That's
too every now and again has
amazing.
got to be awesome, man. The good news is I love seeing when good people, hardworking people, people like yourself that have obviously served too and everything as well, man. I can't thank you enough for doing that. Like
Seriously,
when
yeah.
when you get what you deserve, which is everything. Like this is honestly the coolest story, and I'm so thankful to have you on this show, man, and for you to be a part of this, and for us to be just a small part of your journey throughout the entirety of all this, man. It's going to be fun to watch and awesome. We're definitely keeping tabs on you. And when you make it big and you become WWE champion one day, please think of us and come on back because we'd love to have you
Yeah.
on. Because I mean, it's
Oh,
awesome,
yeah.
dude. Tell Cody Hunter the title for a few years so you can train, then you can take it off of him, and then we'll
Oh,
have you on.
you got
Yeah.
you got to cut a promo at the wedding. Are you considering cutting a promo? Either I mean, you got to talk at some point during the wedding or the reception.
Right.
Like, are you thinking about doing a promo battle, even whether it's in public or in private with Cody? Like,
Yeah, we actually have a plan. I'm not gonna say the location, but I'm gonna say what we're doing. We're gonna be renting out a party boat on a
Mm.
lake,
oh my goodness.
and I'm going to get into a promo battle with Cody then, because it's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of people are gonna be drunk, People aren't gonna be understanding what's going on. And then I told
You
my
don't
fiance
even
that
you don't even deserve to hold the title, Cody.
Oh, I'm gonna finish the story.
Dude, that is awesome,
but-
man. That is so cool. Is that gonna be so? Is that the wedding or is that the bachelor party? Because that'd be kind of cool for the bachelor party too, to be able to tell them off a little bit.
Yeah, that's the bachelor party. I'm gonna
Nice.
try to convince Cody to let me beat him for the Universal Championship one time,
Okay.
just once,
Oh.
just so I could,
Yeah, like, hey, listen, they had a
But,
title in WWE before where they were defending it all over the place. I mean, we can have an impromptu match right now, man. It's fine, and I'll be good about it. And after I beat you, I can always just give it back later. It's fine. I know you got some stuff you got to take care of, but we just got to prove who's better. That's it. I mean, it's no big deal.
Right. No script, no nothing. And if
Hey.
I win it, Cody, you're gonna have to get it back at WrestleMania in Las Vegas.
Hmm.
So I'm just saying.
There you go.
We don't put people over at our bachelor party.
Hell no.
Cody, you got two
Four shots,
choices.
Satan.
Hell no.
Dude, Anthony, man, it is awesome talking to you, brother. Again, I appreciate you making time for us. I know the schedule is crazy, like I said before. One more time, Double A mentioned it, man. Socials, let's get you out there. Let's get you to really everyone to embrace this story and get you on the right path, man. Where can people find you one more time?
On TikTok and on Instagram at Ace Atlas. Pretty basic name, but that's gonna be my ring name for wrestling.
Like
And
that's a name, man. That's a name you could see. I
Yeah.
could see Ace Atlas versus Cody Rhodes for the Universal title.
And the
That's
good
a name.
thing is that Vince McMahon's gone, so he won't change your name either. So
Yeah, good.
that'll
Keep
be-
that shit. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, it's you found a solid name, brother. That's yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, my buddy walks around calling me the war criminal Ace Atlas. I said, that works.
Okay,
That's tough. Listen, that's tough.
that's nice.
Yeah, I'm in contact right now with a designer from AEW that designs the clothing, and I'm gonna be getting my pants, my trunks made, and they're gonna have camo that's red, white, and blue, and then on the other leg it's gonna be the red and white stripes that says Ace Atlas down the side in blue.
Dude.
Oh my goodness. First of all, I'm gonna need you to plan a wedding that I might be in at some point, and then we'll talk about. This is amazing.
That's awesome.
What
man.
a story this is, Anthony. This
He talked about it. Dominoes are lining up and they're falling really well. So
It is.
that's sick.
It is.
I'm sure we're gonna catch up again, man. Before it's all said and done, maybe after the bachelor party, we'll give you a call and see if you can still breathe.
Oh yeah.
Because it's gonna be
Just give me a
nuts.
little check-in.
Yeah, just a little message on like TikTok or something like, "Hey man, how you doing? Are you good? Are you still
You're
alive?"
gonna win the championship and not even remember.
Oh my goodness!
I'm
I've been waiting for the Hangover
hoping
Part
it's,
17, so
Yes,
we didn't get a chance to see that, right?
waiting to get that Mike Tyson tattoo. Lose a
No,
tooth or two, you know?
no.
Oh,
no!
please, please, for the love of God, let that shit rub off when you're done. Just
Is
yeah.
Tyson
Oh, my
beating
God.
Jake Paul? Is
What's that?
Is Mike Tyson beating Jake Paul?
You know, we're Cleveland boys, so this is kind of technically the Pauls are like we're supposed to support them a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
The only Paul I support is Logan. He did change the game completely when he came in.
Mm.
I'll say that. Logan came a long way from twerking on the fucking Instagram and shit when he was a
I'm
kid,
done.
you know?
I'm done.
we grew up literally 15 minutes from where they were, and let me tell you, his life not difficult, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, it's totally fine. But
Right.
All right,
But
Kyle,
yeah,
you want to let this man plan
Hey.
for his wedding?
he's got a lot of shit to do. I know it's awesome, man. And listen, Anthony, I appreciate the hell out of you, brother. Again, thanks so much for spending time with us, man. Again, anytime,
Yeah, for sure.
anytime, man. We'd love to have you on again, brother. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, guys. Of course. Thank you.